Are there any interesting trends that you guys see internationally happening in the construction engineering space that you can engage us with or tell us about?
Yeah, so I think there's obviously, if you look at the construction industry, it's very broad, and it's difficult to talk about the construction industry as a whole because there's so many different aspects and different things in that specific industry. But I think something that we definitely do see is that people are more focused on going greener, building with materials that's more eco-friendly, and big companies that invest a lot of money in developing their products to be more energy efficient, to be more sustainable, especially on the environment as well. So there's definitely a big trend that's kind of hitting the global industry as a whole, but also starting to hit the local industry in South Africa as well. So yeah, you can definitely see that that is a new trend forming in the construction industry. And then something that we are actually specifically more involved in is light steel framing. It's a different way of, or different material that you use to build houses. It's obviously it's what it's the name say, it's light steel frames that you basically build houses with or structures with, and I think it was developed in Australia and places like that. So that trends to definitely start coming through more prominently in South Africa as well, and people are looking at using different materials and using different methods to build houses and structures. So yeah, you can definitely see there's forward movement in the industry, and people are keen to learn more and use different systems that we haven't thought of in a traditional sense.
And I suppose the light frames also comes with a cost benefit, hopefully.
Yeah, it's difficult to say. You kind of have to base it on different, well, per project, depending on the size of the project. But as it gets more popular with people actually investing in companies that does the light steel framing, like steel fabricators and so forth, it gets more competitive with traditional ways of doing things. So it depends on project to project, but and depending on where you actually want to build the structure of the house or whatever. But yeah, there's definitely value in at least considering something like that. So what we actually do from time to time, depending on the project, is we actually give them a couple of different designs using different materials, and then you can go to a client and say, listen, here's 2 or 3 options that you can consider. This is the traditional option, this is a new method to consider as well, and then they can make a decision as to what they want to do. So yeah, it is competitive.
And time-wise, is it quicker to build such a structure, or is it the same thing more or less with brick and mortar?
It is definitely quicker on site. Yeah, so there's a lot of fabricating that happens in a factory or a warehouse. So your time on site is definitely quicker, depending on obviously who the builder is. But yeah, we see that light steel framing, your time on site is substantially quicker than normal brick and